Right, bucket of balls. Thank you, Jeff, behind the glass, for that intro again. Love that music. Welcome, folks. Welcome to Fantasy Golf TV with Jeff Deal. My sidekick today is Gene. Welcome back, Gene.
It's been too long. I missed it.
It has. We've missed you here, man. We've missed your expertise.
I don't know about expertise, but
you're the professor, man. We need you.
I got some good picks for you this week.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's my favorite tournament.
Well, I know they needed your help, and so we appreciate you being here.
Okay, I don't want you to take any of my players, though. You're, what, number 2 on the
I did. Last couple of weeks I've done well, but remember, we talked about it before we went on the air. I have nobody left. So I'm going to need your help soon.
I need the guy behind the glass to pay close attention today.
Oh, okay.
I'm on every word.
Very good. Very good. We need to make some changes on your sheet.
You gave us your picks earlier, and I didn't say anything yet. So
I'm just going to wing it, totally wing it this time, and that was my winging.
Well, you're a busy man. You don't have time to do a lot of. You know, you have to do your homework. I mean, Shan and Frank are a perfect example. They do their homework very well.
They have been arguing all day long.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
They have.
And that's what fantasy golf will do. Just like any fantasy sport, it's a lot of fun. So, folks, again, thanks for joining us. We obviously it's Open Week, Open Championship Week at St. Andrews. Host site, the 29th time it's hosted the Open Championship, St. Andrews. So storied, where golf began, right?
I think they ought to hold it there every year.
Yeah, it's just wonderful.
I really do.
It's wonderful.
It works for the others. How about Augusta?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. Well, although, listen, Carnoustie is a great venue, and
that thing's almost as hard as the Dackles. It's Carnoustie, remember?
Carnoustie, there you go. Well, folks, we're here to help you with your fantasy teams this week. Obviously, Open Championship Week. We have a lot to get to. I like to look back. John Deere, obviously, Jordan Spieth. We're done. That's all you need to say, and move on to the Open, right? But There was a lot going on there at Tom Gillis, and I felt bad for him. You know, we dumped it in the water there on the playoff, and.
The majority of the people were probably pulling for Gillis because of, it meant a heck of a lot more to him than anybody else in that field.
39 years old, been a journeyman for so long, and would have meant a lot.
This would open some serious doors.
Yeah. But, Jordan, that's where, we got his first win as a PGA professional. And
got to admire him for being there.
Everybody's – and it's amazing. The kid wins the tournament. He's en route to St. Andrews, and some of the press are still burying him for playing. It just blows me away. I just leave the guy alone. Let him.
Well, he went in there, and he's telling everybody he's prepared. He's not prepared.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, he got in there late yesterday, played a little mini practice round late in the day, and he said he was sleeping today for 10 hours. And I don't know if he went out there to play a practice round yet. He's still in bed.
It's hard to keep him off your list if you've still got picks for him because he's so talented. But I think there's going to be a different winner this week.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's good to know. I can only use him 2 more times this year, and he's going on my team. I don't care. I can use him 2 more times, and this is going to be one of them. And I'm going to start him every day.
I love the decisive nature of the professor, having him back. He's so matter of fact.
He is.
Yeah, man. He's like E.F. Hutton.
If you don't believe in your convictions and your picks, then what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to get wishy-washy and change them?
I'm listening to everything you say today, Professor.
Yes, sir. I'll help you.
Well, listen, all right, let's move on to the Open because John Deere's John Deere. We had the winner, Jordan Spieth, but the course, St. Andrews. People are talking that's a little softer this year. It's Tiger said it in his interview yesterday that it's a little soft. 7 of those par 4s are drivable to some of these guys, depending upon the wind. Obviously, wind is always a factor.
And it's going to be windy.
There's 14 par 4s. Remember, there's only 2 par 3s and 2 par 5s on this whole course. The rest are par 4s. But 7 of these holes are drivable, depending upon the wind. So, again, you talked about it before we went on there. Big hitters, right? It's not going to the softness is going to combat that to those guys that
Tiger
can't
says
hit it very
the first time he's seen pitch marks that he's ever played there. So, it's going to play soft, and it's going to get softer. They're calling for rain 3 of the 4 days.
Yep.
And the wind's going to dry it a little bit because it's going to be windy, but I think it's going to play soft all 4 days.
I like. I love again a storied golf course. You know, the double greens. How many holes? It's great where you can have Tiger putting on one green and Jordan putting on another, and
they're putting on the same green.
They're putting on the same green, but it's just wonderful. I love it.
It can give you a 150-foot putt. I can tell you that.
I just love when that happens. Yeah, Mother Nature's a factor. Controlling your shots, and you like you said, if it is a long man's game this week. But I still think shot makers are going to be at a premium because they're going to have to be, and now they can be because it's softer. Then it's not bouncing all over like Chambers Bay. You're going to be able to fire at some pins and stop it, right? You're getting ball marks now. Tiger said it.
Yeah, you should be.
So,
but I still think it's the advantage goes to the long hitter because there are holes that if you can't drive it over what you need to drive it over, then
right.
You have to play short.
Well, look at the last 3 winners at St. Andrews. Let's go back to John Daly, Tiger Woods, and then Oosthuizen, right? All those guys can hit it. Oosthuizen is sneaky long, very sneaky long. So history, with current conditions suggests that the big hitters will have an advantage for sure. But I still think shot makers course. Somebody... Jeff behind the glass had mentioned that he's going to put a player on his team, and you said just cancel him out because he's not very long. But I still think that he's a shot maker, and he's being considered for my team right now. We won't mention any names just yet. But
why don't we just you give me one of your picks, and then I'll give you one of mine, and we'll just keep swapping back and forth because I don't think any of them are going to be the same.
Well, should we bring up the league and go with A players first? I will give you one pick. I'm putting Jordan on my team. I mean, no question about it. Jordan's going to be on my team. As far as A players are concerned, let me just bring up the Open here. I'm in John Deere and Adam Scott, and right now I have actually Adam Scott and Henrik Stenson on my team as my A players. Those 2 guys, and Stenson is just so overdue for a major. It's not funny. I think this guy is the most, Sergio was that guy for a while.
Well, keep in mind, you're not trying to pick. It's nice to pick the winner, but you got to look at the consistency of
right.
Stenson. I mean, the man's finished in the top 3 in the last 3 appearances in the Open.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 50% of the time he's in the top 3.
And
you don't put him on your team, you've made a mistake.
Right. As well as Adam Scott.
So I'm proud of you.
In this venue, as well as Adam Scott. That's why they're both on my team right now. Jordan Spieth is going to be on my team. There's one guy that not many people, he's always flying under the radar, is Brent Snedeker. I love his pairings. Who's he playing with? He's playing with Tom Watson. And, man, if you don't keep up with the old guy, and let me tell you, that old guy is going to be shooting
Watson
darts.
Might beat him.
That's a great pairings. I have a pairings list here, too. That's to me, that's going to be one of the feature pairings. I love the fact that Tom is playing with Brant Snedeker. It's going to be a good pairings. And then Dustin Johnson. How can you not pick him?
Well, now, wait a minute. We're still on A players. You gave me your 2.
I did. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay. I agree with Stenson.
You do?
I like Tiger.
Tiger's not an A player. Wait a minute. Is he? He is. No, he's not. Yeah, he is. Oh, man. What am I going to do? He was the guy, when you walked in, I said, you are going to laugh at me and laugh at me because Tiger's going to go on my team. I'm not kidding.
He's hard to take off your team playing
how am I
there.
Do this? Oh, folks, man, you got the expert here, and I'm clueless right now.
Now he might shoot 85 in the first round. I don't know.
I just love his history here.
I like him there.
Yeah, I love his history.
And I think he's rounding out a little bit.
So do I. I totally agree. I really like him in this venue, but boy, how do I take Adam Scott off?
You just kind of mash the little button, and he disappears.
That's going to be tough. A players wise.
I'd stick with Scott if I was you.
Yeah, me too.
I would.
Folks, take it from the professor. Yeah, he's trying to psych me out. Again, A players. Ryan Palmer is under the radar, and I like him. He's played well over the past month.
You are running out of players, aren't you?
No, not at all. No. Sergio, I always pick Sergio for an Open, but again, I can only pick 2 players. So right now, I'm gonna keep. I have a day or a half
All
a
right,
day.
well, I tell you what, I'm going to take Sergio and you take Ryan Palmer.
Okay.
Sergio's got 8 top 10 finishes at the Open.
Yeah.
Okay?
I like it.
It's going to be windy. Who's one of the best wind players out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one that's as good that you probably is so far off your radar you won't even think about him.
Well, one of the things that we had talked before, you had mentioned the European, right? The Europeans.
Oh, yeah.
And, that Dunhill Links tournament is played at St. Andrews every year.
Yes, it is.
And they play St. Andrews twice. Then they move on to 2 other venues
They do.
in that rotation for that Dunhill Links Championship. There's one guy, folks, that if you can get him on your team, I like Tommy Fleetwood. Yeah. Trust me, he has played
No,
so
I know
well.
how good Tommy is, and I think he's a great pick. But you got to look at he's either an A or a C player. I'm not sure which.
That's a good point.
And you got people that you better not leave off. That I don't know. Like I said, you're running out of players, so maybe Fleetwood is a great pick for you.
Well, I just like the venue. He shot 62-64 in the last Dunhill Links. I mean, he lit that place up when it was playing hard and fast.
Big difference.
Yeah, good point.
Open, Dunhill Links.
All right, the last I printed out a couple things here. The last 5 in the last 5 Opens. The top 5 in the last 5 Opens. Rory won last year. Sergio was in second, tied with Ricky. Jim Furyk was in 4th. And tied for 5th is Adam Scott and Mark Leishman. In 2013 is when Phil won. Stenson was in 2nd. A T3 for Lee Westwood, Ian Poulter, and Adam Scott. Again, there he is. In 2012, when Ernie won, again, Adam Scott was tied for 2nd. Tiger Woods tied for 3rd. There's Brant Snedeker and Graham McDowell. So the last 5 in the last 5 St. Andrews Opens, the top 5 were 2010 was Oosthuizen. Lee Westwood came in 2nd, and Stenson came in 3rd. Rory and Paul Casey were tied for 3rd also. 2005 was when Tiger won. Colin Montgomery was 2nd. Jose Maria Olazabal was 3rd. And in 2000, Tiger Woods was in 1st. He won that. John Daly in 95. And then Nick Faldo. Nick Faldo was the last European to win it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's been a
That
long
was
time.
1990.
25 years.
Yeah.
Man. You think they're due?
Well, yeah.
I do. I really do. From a strategic standpoint, listen, navigating around that golf course, again, course management. I know it's a bomber's course, like you said, but I still think course management, guys like Dustin Johnson, who can bomb it, but, man, he's gotten so much better maneuvering and managing a golf course. Henrik Stenson, Adam Scott. What I like about Adam Scott is his new caddy, his old caddy. He's got Stevie back on the bag.
If I was playing there at St. Andrews, I'd have Stevie on my bag too.
So I like that. Okay, so let's go to our C list. Actually, let's ask Jeff behind the glass. I think he's listening to music over there. But give us one of your A players. You had mentioned your team earlier. I want to see one of your A players right now.
Stenson.
Stenson. Okay, so that's a fine pick.
Yeah.
And then give me one of your B players.
Jason Day.
Jason Day. Okay. And apparently, you asked about his vertigo when we were off the air.
You said it was an ear infection.
Apparently,
and
they
it's-
found the cause was an ear infection, new medication. They interviewed him the other day. He says, "Don't worry, I'm fine," and he just walked away. He had no other issue about it. So, I like him.
I like Justin Day. I mean,
Jason Day.
Jason Day, and I like Dustin. I do.
Yeah.
I think he's going to play well. He's got trouble finishing, obviously, but again, you don't have to have him win it. You have to have him up there in the
Get some
top
points.
3, and he'll
If-
be.
yeah.
I think he'll be in the top 5 anyway, especially if the golf course is suited for a bomber, because he's definitely the bomber out there.
Well, listen, folks. Again, the professor here is making fun of me. I have no guys left. I have. It's amazing how I only can use Jordan 2 more times, Dustin 3 more times, but both those guys are going on my team this week. I'm looking to win. It's I'll just use them till I can't use them anymore, and then move on.
That's the rules.
So I am I am going to save Jordan for the PGA Championship at Whistling Straits, as well as Dustin Johnson. So
You are going to be out when we get down the stretch.
I am. But that's how I manage my team. Folks, you get to manage your team how you want. You can figure it out. I'm actually in 5th place in my league after 28 weeks, so I'm doing pretty good overall. 2nd place in this segment, pretty good.
Because you're using all the good players.
I've already made my coins back from my entry fee, so I'm pretty much free and clear. I'm riding a free ride right now, so I'm doing pretty good.
All right, let's get to some names we haven't mentioned.
Okay.
Why would you pick Shane Lowry? Do you know?
I don't know. You have some information on Shane Lowry.
Sure. He's one of the best wet weather players you've ever seen.
Yeah.
He started off the Scottish Open. He had a collapse in the last round. I'm not really too worried about that. He finished tied for 9th at Chambers Bay. And the rainy forecast and the windy conditions, they're right up that man's alley.
Okay.
He might be one of the best wet weather and windy players. Right there, Shane Lowry.
I'm copying.
Okay. And I think he's a C player. And if he is, there are not many to pick from.
Let me
You
write
wanna
that
double
down.
check that?
I'm going to check a C player list here. Shane Lowry. No, I don't think there's many guys to pick from. And, boy, he's down on the list if he's there.
Well, it depends on what you got your list set on. You got it set on this event? You got it set on?
I do.
Okay.
It's on this event.
It's not there?
No.
Hmm.
He's got to be in the B list.
He might be.
I like to pick, though. I really do. And you kind of did a little research on some of the Europeans. Bruce Koepka.
He likes St.
Brooks,
Andrews.
Brooks Koepka. Did you see what those guys, him and Dustin, played at the practice round the other day? Dustin, he's one of the longest on tour, Koepka, right?
Yeah.
Dustin was out driving him by 50 yards.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Well, see, that's the point I'm trying to get across. There are things that he can hit it across that they can't even get to.
Well, and I understand it, and you're right. But that's why Koepka plays so well. He played wait, I got some stats here. He fired a 64 and a 68 in 2 rounds at the Old Course in the 2014 Dunhill. So he's played that event very well. He's played the Old Course very well. He was a winner in Phoenix this year. He had a T3 at St. Jude. He tied for 18th at the U.S. Open and tied for 22nd in last week's Scottish Open. So he plays that type of course very well. I like him.
With that being said, Ricky Fowler. He won the Scottish Open.
Yeah, I like him.
He played well last year.
And he's a shot maker.
He is, but he also hits a long ball.
But I don't think he's a rain player. To me, just watching him play in inclement weather, to me, it's a bothersome. It just seems to be bothersome for him. Some players, it doesn't phase. You can tell it bothers him. He's always grabbing a towel, always helping with a caddy. And I watch those little things. So
that's interesting. You might be changing my mind about Ricky.
Well, here's check this out.
He's not a solid one on my team anyway. I just brought him up.
Here's a stat. Tommy Fleetwood, right? I mentioned. This guy shot 26 under for 4 rounds at St. Andrews. Is that on fire
in
or what?
the Dunhill.
In the Dunhill.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but still, that's good competition now. That's the best
That
players
is-
in the European Tour.
yeah.
And some Americans playing in that. So,
But keep in mind, that was at 2 other golf courses, too, I believe. Don't
Okay,
They played 3 courses or something like that.
we're already running out of time, folks. I hope we're helping you
No,
right
he
now.
said we could go as long as we wanted to.
That's
I
true.
heard
We
him.
can. We can. Some power rankings. Obviously, Jordan is number 1 power ranking. Ricky Fowler, I got number 2. Dustin Johnson, number 3. Stenson, number 4. But number 5, everybody's not many people talking about Hideki Matsuyama. I love this guy at this venue. He arrives at St. Andrews with 9 top 25s. And he tied for 4th at Riviera 5 months ago. He was at 18th at Chambers Bay. He's 5th overall in all stats rankings, so 5th in the world in all stats ranking in PGA Tour. I mean, that right there. I don't know how he is playing in inclement weather, though, so I'm a little leery about that. But I really like how strong he's playing right now. So Matsuyama, what do you think about Matsuyama? Do you know anything about him?
He's not going to win it.
No?
But again, he might finish high. I mean, he could.
Well, remember, we're looking for points here, right?
He's on my team.
Do you know what?
There you go.
Do you have any idea what would happen to that young man if he was leading after 3 rounds with the press over there?
Yeah, that would be brutal, wouldn't it?
Oh,
They would just hang
oh, I mean the pressure.
Yeah.
Golly.
Adam Scott, I got number 6. Snedeker, I got number 7 as my rankings. Paul Casey, he's been playing very well recently. Not overly long, but he doesn't have to be. He knows the golf course. He knows the venue.
I'll agree with
He
that.
plays
If
it
you're
very
going to
well.
have somebody with, a good solid game that's not long, I would take Paul Casey over anybody you've mentioned.
Phil Mickelson, I have number 9. The funny thing is, I checked some Vegas odds. He's 40-1, Phil Mickelson to win it, and
Wonder how much he's going to bet on himself.
well, what do you think? What do you think Tiger is? 40-1. Go figure.
I'd like to get.
I mean,
I'd like to get some action on that.
I know, right? I'm sure Phil would too.
Yeah, I guarantee.
Not that
you-
I'm saying anything.
I'll bet you both of them are betting on themselves.
Let me run over some stats. Obviously, Jordan Spieth right now is a favorite at 6-1. Dustin Johnson's 11-1. Fowler's at 16-1. Justin Rose, which we haven't even mentioned yet,
There's a reason
strong candidate. Why?
he's not on form at all.
He's not on form.
No.
Oh, that's a great venue for him, though. Is he injured?
I don't know if he is or not.
I thought he had a wrist injury or something that he's keeping quiet.
Well,
But hey, the odds makers, they know 18-1. I mean, that's not too bad. Stenson's at 20-1. Adam Scott's at 20-1. So
all right, he finished. He was tied for second going into the last 2 rounds at Ghislaine last week.
yeah,
He shot 8 over on the weekend and collapsed to 74th. 74th from second place.
wow. I wonder what's going on there.
Nothing good.
All right, so I'm going to throw one more stat. Tommy Fleetwood, he was a runner-up in 2014. He had a pair of fifth-place finishes in the Dunhill Links, and I think he's just a strong candidate. If you're like me, and you
Fleetwood
got
played good in the match play. He's a good player.
He
I'm
is.
not. I don't doubt that. I think he's a good player.
I like
There's
your
some
pick,
better
Shane
picks.
Lowry. I like that pick.
I think he'll be on my team. Did we ever figure out where he was? Is he in the B group? That's important. I don't know why I thought he was C.
But I want to move on. I know we got a little extra time, and thank you,
Well,
Jeff, for that.
We got one player that we have totally overlooked that could win the golf tournament.
I can't even. No, I can't even find him.
Well, he's
really?
there.
What's the guy?
Louis.
Louis Oosthuizen.
Yes, sir.
Oh no, I haven't overlooked him.
Well, we haven't mentioned him.
Well, is he on my team?
I don't know.
He's a
Probably
secret.
not.
He is. He's
Is he?
He's a C player, and I got him on my team.
Okay, who's your other C
Him
player?
and Francisco Molinari.
Okay, I'm pretty sure if you'll scroll down, you'll see Shane Lowry on that C list.
He's there. He's in the C's.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
I'm going a little too fast. There you
All
go.
I did was alphabetize him.
There it is, Shane Lowry. There you go. And he averages 25 points.
You know why Louis is a good pick?
Why?
He's got a clean bill of health. How long has it been since he's played
You're
healthy?
right. You're right, and he's playing well right now. I
Yes,
mean,
he is.
He shot lights out for
Yes, he
Chambers
did.
Bay, man.
That's
I mean,
right.
that was ridiculous. After the first round, he shot
Yep.
77 or something.
Yeah.
He would have won the tournament.
But didn't you say he's paired with Tiger?
I don't think that'll bother him.
Well, let's take a
Something bothered him at Chambers Bay, and he was paired with Tiger.
I think Chambers Bay bothered him.
Listen, and you're right, but it's important. I mean, Jeff, thanks for bringing that up because who you're paired with, we talk about that. I talk about that every once in a while. Who you're paired with really does matter sometimes. But in this particular venue, what time you're teeing off is going to be a key.
Mm-hmm.
If you're teeing off in the morning, you're not in that wind, you have an advantage. Now, obviously, weather is moving in on Saturday. So do you want to tee off in the morning and beat that weather before it comes in? It's going to be a little iffy with this. But I still think when you tee off in the morning, that first off, to get off to a good start at this venue, it sets your next 3 rounds up.
That's important.
Even if you're playing in the afternoon afterwards.
If you shoot 65 in the morning and the weather's bad and you're playing in the afternoon wave in the second round, shoot 72, 73, you're
Right.
still in the hunt.
Right.
But if you play in the afternoon on the first day and you shoot that 74, 75, now the pressure's on you to make the cut.
Exactly.
So-
That's why it's good to go out early. And that's why I like this pairings at 8:33 teeing off Ernie Els, Brandt Snedeker, and Tom Watson. For some reason, I just keep going back to that. It's not much of a feature pairing, but I like it. I like Brandt in that. I really do. Charles Schwartzel and Ian Poulter are going off at 9 o'clock. A lot of the top players are going off mid-morning, 9 to 10 o'clock. Sergio and Patrick Reed are paired together. They're going off at 9:11 a.m. And Dustin Johnson, Jordan Spieth, and Hideki Matsuyama are going off at 9:30. So they're not early, but at least they'll beat those heavy winds in the afternoon. I like that pairing. Kevin Kistner, we haven't mentioned him. He's playing very well recently. He's going off right after Dustin at 9:44. I like that pairing. And then Tiger is at 9:55 with Jason Day and Luis Oosthuizen.
I think you'll find that the form that they have at St. Andrews will play a bigger part in this tournament than anything else.
Yeah.
The people that know the golf course are going to be the ones that play it well. And that's what they were saying about Mr. Spieth. He doesn't know the golf course. He hasn't played it often enough. So
I just think his talent's
I
gonna rise.
know. I've watched it. The talent's there. There's no doubt about it. But
And then the afternoon wave, we got a couple of feature pairings. I keep talking about Tommy Fleetwood. He's playing with Zach Johnson and Bern Wiesberger, which I like. He's a good player. He plays well at this venue. They're going off at 1 in the afternoon. Then later in the afternoon, Martin Keimer, which nobody's talking about. I don't know why.
I got him right here.
So Martin, he's playing with Adam Scott and Jimmy Walker. So, but again, that afternoon wave, depending upon the weather, it might hurt him. And right after that, Keegan Bradley, Jamie Donaldson, and Yuto Ikeda. I've never heard of that. So, Japanese player though. And then later in the afternoon, 2:30, is Matt Kuchar, Phil, and Henrik Stenson. Great feature pairings there. Justin Rose gets to play with Ricky Fowler and Nick Faldo.
That's an interesting pairing.
It is. It really is. And then Paul Casey, Jim Furyk, Brandon Grace. So those are rounding off my feature pairings. So you got some morning crews. The better pairings, I think, are all set to play in the afternoon. I wonder if that was by design by the RNA.
It could have been.
You know, so the powers that be. Anyway, okay. Jeff, behind the glass, give me your winner of this event. Who's going to win?
My winner, Louis Oosthuizen.
Okay, I like that. Good choice. And the professor.
I think Stenson's going to win his first major.
Yeah, I think he's so due. I really do.
He's a great links player. There's no doubt about that. The record proves it.
My pick to win is based on my heart because I just want to see this kid win a Grand Slam. So I'm going to take Jordan Spieth only on those hopes. I'm hoping.
He wins everything he tees it up in. I just don't think he's going to do it at St. Andrews.
But I think Dustin's going to win. I do. He's going to get his first major.
That's a good pick.
I like him. I think I really think he's a little mad. I noticed him in a press conference just this morning. I was watching him. He just seemed a little irked by some of the questions. Like he's going to show
how do you
them.
2-putt from 3-putt from 12 feet?
Well, I mean they were nice about it, but still though you sensed it in him that he's done with this. He's got to put this to rest, and he's about to do it. I just felt that just from watching on a TV screen. So what, but.
That's a good pick.
Anyway, hopefully we helped you all out there in fantasy gamer land here at Fantasy Golf TV.
I don't think we hurt anybody.
No, no, that's true. It all depends upon your teams. I'm screwed because I can't pick Jordan but twice. And
well, we covered our bases good. What did we talk about? 16 players. You can't pick but 8.
Yeah. But I hope we did help. We gave you some stats out there. So TGD Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, folks, be sure to check out our featured golf course pages where you'll find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much more. Need help with your next golf vacation? Hashtag JustCallDave. Give us a call at 844-GO-GOLF1. That's 844-464-6531. All of our TGD programming is archived for your listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on a show you have missed, click on the TGD Radio and TGD TV tabs in the menu at thegolfdirector.com. Again, folks, it's thegolfdirector.com. We're now available on over 1 billion devices, iTunes, Roku, Ustream, YouTube, TuneIn, Audio Realm, Blueberry, the Myrtle Beach Golf app, which is wonderful. Check that out. My name is Jeff Deal, host of Fantasy Golf TV, my sidekick, and the professor, Gene. Thank you very much, Gene Weldon, for being
Pleasure.
here.
Thoroughly
Appreciate it.
enjoyed it.
Good to have you back. And
It's going to be tough to sit here next week, though, and one of us is going to be wrong.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Well, listen.
Maybe two of us.
I just hope we're helping the folks out. That's what that's what it's all about.
Again, we couldn't have hurt them. We gave them some good, solid reasons for the people that we're picking.
And there's more news and information on thegolfdirector.com. So stay tuned, folks. And thank you again, Jeff.